think with Usyk, the game plan, like he's a superior boxer, a very good boxer, technician, ring IQ is very good. You have to.
The best guy right now is Joseph Parker. Why? Because he's not a big heavyweight. He's quick. He throws combinations. He has a great trainer with him now, in Andy Lee.
Parker boldly declared he'd stop Usyk within 3 rounds, but reality tells another story. Under the WBO spotlight, Usyk's focus remains fixed on Fury, where legacy and fortune collide. Parker's confidence is loud, yet against a man who dismantled Joshua and dealt with Du Bois, it feels more like ambition than certainty.
Queen.
Calling him the Gypsy Queen, yeah, no, not the Gypsy
Queen,
King. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Greedy belly, I love you.
Parker emphasizes his team's dedication, but commitment alone won't conquer Usyk. The Ukrainian has faced elite setups before: Joshua, Fury, Du Bois, all with world-class camps, and still walked away unscathed. Dedication is commendable, but Parker's history of inconsistency suggests that focus alone may not be enough when entering Usyk's calculated storm.
So you can't really think about that or worry about that fight until you get this one done and dusted. But this is our full focus. Myself, Andy, George, the whole team that's here from New Zealand, America, I got Rob here. Our full focus is on this fight.
Parker goes even further, insisting he's discovered Usyk's single weakness, a bold claim that underlines his belief. Yet history shows no one has cracked that code. Joshua tried brute force, Du Bois relied on pressure, and Fury leaned on size, but all fell short. Usyk adapts mid-fight like a chess grandmaster. For Parker to claim he holds the solution sounds more like hope than reality.
Now, given that you are such an admirer of his, and you appreciate his skill because you're an appreciator of skill, what makes you think that you've got the toolkit to dethrone him?
I believe wholeheartedly in my ability and what I can do in the ring. I have full confidence that give me a good camp or give me some time to put in the work with Andy Lee and George Lockhart. Want to come up with a good game plan, probably different to everyone else's one, and just work.
Roy Jones Jr. offers Parker some credit, noting his blend of speed and power makes him a legitimate challenger. But the reality remains, Usyk has already neutralized speed against Joshua and absorbed power against Fury. Parker may tick the boxes on paper, but inside the ropes, Usyk dismantles such styles with surgical precision.
Understand me? But Joseph Parker is the best fight for him right now because Joseph Parker is a guy who has the qualities and the experience that it would take to get Usyk the hardest time. I'm not saying he's going to beat Usyk by no means.
Parker makes his intentions clear. He wants Usyk next. But wanting Usyk and beating Usyk are two very different things. Every heavyweight has wanted Usyk, and all have left the ring second best. Joshua sought redemption and failed twice. Du Bois aimed to prove he was the young lion, only to be broken down. Fury tried to bully Usyk and was humbled. Now Parker enters the conversation. But what makes him different? He brings nothing Usyk hasn't already conquered. Negotiations and ambition sound bold, but the ring reveals truth. Usyk isn't just a champion. He's a problem solver who thrives under pressure. Against him, Parker's words risk becoming excuses. Fans know Parker is chasing the fight of his life, but while he dreams of that stage, Usyk lives for it.
Don't you?
Yeah, I want Usyk next. I know Usyk's deserves his time to relax and chill with his family. When he's ready, I'll love to open up negotiations and see if we can make the fight happen. Just that.
And if Parker thinks calling Usyk out is bold, promoter Frank Warren points to the WBO's mandatory situation, meaning Parker's wish might actually come true. Warren confirms that Parker is in prime position as the mandatory challenger. But let's be real. Being mandatory doesn't make you the favorite. Usyk has chewed through mandatories before without breaking a sweat. Chisora, Du Bois, even Joshua when forced into a rematch, all crumbled once Usyk adjusted his rhythm. Parker's chance is real, but so is the gulf in class. A UK showdown sounds thrilling on paper, but when the bell rings, the crowd won't be able to fight for him. Warren's business talk makes sense. Titles, obligations, negotiations. But boxing isn't decided on contracts. Usyk thrives when odds, politics, and pressure collide. Parker may get the shot because the rules demand it, but once the fight starts, Usyk will remind everyone why mandatories are stepping stones, not stumbling blocks.
As I was saying before the fight, we now know who holds the belts, who's the number one, and he's going to have to make his mandatories now. And his first mandatory is the WBO against Joe Parker. So Joe Parker will get his opportunity. BO basically said we've got to start negotiating with each other, and that's what we're doing. I'd love to put the fight on in
Andy
the UK.
Lee praises Parker, highlighting improvements in eliminating breaks in his rhythm. But let's be brutally honest. Fixing flaws in training is one thing, erasing them under fire against Usyk is another. Usyk doesn't just find breaks, he creates them. Against Joshua, he forced him into survival mode, dictating when openings appeared. Against Du Bois, he soaked up the early storm, then dismantled him mentally and physically. Parker may arrive in better condition, but Usyk's footwork and timing expose weaknesses fighters didn't even know they had. Andy Lee's confidence is admirable, yet we've heard this tune from every camp. Usyk breaks opponents down not only with punches, but with constant angles and relentless IQ. Parker can claim he solved the problem, but history shows Usyk makes even flawless preparations look foolish. And the debate grows louder. Analyst Spencer Oliver weighs in, asking the question, who can actually beat Usyk, and suggesting Parker might be next in line. Oliver calls Parker Usyk's toughest challenge yet, but that says more about a lack of options than Parker's superiority. Because who truly looks capable of beating Usyk? That's the question no expert has convincingly answered. Parker may deserve his shot, but deserving isn't the same as being ready. Mandates and rankings are politics. Inside the ropes, Usyk operates on another level. Every so-called biggest threat, Joshua, Du Bois, Fury, was eventually broken down and outsmarted. Parker, though tough, doesn't appear to have the tools to unravel Usyk's rhythm. Biggest challenge feels more like a polite way of saying, best available. Usyk doesn't fear mandatories. He dismantles them. And if this fight happens, Oliver's words may end up sounding more like hype than prophecy.
Who's going to beat him? You know, who is that guy? I think the guy that deserves a shot next, by the way, is Joseph Parker. He's the guy that's been waiting, and I think the WBO have mandated that fight. So unless Oleksandr Usyk vacates the belt, he will have to fight Joseph Parker next. That'll be an interesting fight. That's probably his biggest challenge.
Here's the reality. Usyk doesn't need Parker. If he wanted, he could retire today as a legend, undisputed, unbeaten, and unquestioned. The only reason Parker is even in the conversation is obligation and business. McKenzie and Smith have it right. Money talks. With Usyk's profile skyrocketing, Parker isn't the fight fans are begging for. He's simply the WBO's mandatory. That makes this less of a super fight and more of a duty. And if Usyk accepts, it won't be because of Parker's name. It's because legacy and finance align. Usyk could easily walk away with a £100 million farewell against Fury or Joshua and ride into history. Instead, Parker becomes a stepping stone on that road. If he's lucky, he'll share the spotlight. But when the bell rings, Usyk's precision will make him look ordinary.
No, I think he'll fight Joseph Parker at some point.
And also, it's money talks. I'm sitting there thinking, walk away from the sport, sail off to the sunset, but if he comes back with £100 million, offer to fight someone else.
And while analysts debate politics, Ade Oladipo focuses on Parker's bold callouts, though even he questions if they'll stick. Ade gives Parker credit for speaking up, but admits the pattern. Parker talks, but rarely delivers. Against Joshua, he played it safe. Against White, fans doubted his fire. Against Joyce, he was dominated. Now he calls for Usyk. But does anyone truly believe he'll succeed where others failed? Ade's excitement is fair. It's fresh, it's noise. But history says Parker's words fade once the punches start flying. Usyk doesn't care for theatrics. He dismantles opponents whether they shout or whisper. Parker may win fans with bravery, but inside the ropes, Usyk wins history.
These call-outs are so unique. I feel like it's going to fall on deaf ears.
Unfortunately, it will.
I appreciate the call-out.
I appreciate that. I remember he did it with Dylan White and Anthony Joshua last year. And every one of them, they just get better and better. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I will say this now, right? I would rather see Parker versus Usyk than Dubois versus Usyk. I'll say it now.
Really?
I don't think we'll get Parker or Usyk.
Johnny Nelson tells it straight. Usyk stripped Du Bois of every weapon. That wasn't just victory, it was systematic destruction. He erased Du Bois's identity piece by piece. The jab nullified, the power smothered, the confidence shattered. By round 5, Du Bois looked like a man trapped in a nightmare, wondering how aggression had turned into panic. And this is what Parker is signing up for. Confidence, focus, or spotting a weakness won't matter. Usyk doesn't let you breathe long enough to use your strengths. His skill isn't flashy, It's suffocating. If Usyk could dismantle a powerhouse like Dubois, then Parker's claim that he'd finish Usyk in 2 rounds doesn't just sound bold, it sounds laughably naive.
What he did to Daniel, it took away everything, all his attributes. He took away his jab, took away his power, took away his movement, took away his confidence, to the point where Daniel was putting his backside on the floor thinking, wow, we're only in round 5 here, and I'm getting chopped up. And this guy, Usyk.
And yet, even legends like Roy Jones Jr. argue Parker is the best option right now. So why does he see it as a great fight for both? Roy makes his case: speed, combinations, composure under Andy Lee's guidance. And yes, Parker does look sharper than ever. But here's the reality. Usyk has spent his career dismantling fighters who thought speed and combinations would surprise him. Against Joshua, he slipped and countered with ease. Against Fury, he absorbed shots from a giant and still fired back with precision. What looks like Parker's advantage quickly becomes irrelevant when standing in front of Usyk's footwork. Comfort in camp doesn't translate to comfort when you're being peppered with southpaw angles from a master technician. Roy calls Parker the best guy right now, not because he can win, but because he's available and in form. And that's the truth fans need to hear. Parker may look like a worthy challenge, but next to Usyk's arsenal, he's simply another brave name on a long list of hopefuls who walked in confident and walked out broken.
The best guy right now is Joseph Parker. Why? Because he's not a big heavyweight. He's quick, he throws combinations, he has a great trainer with him now in Andy Lee, and he's more comfortable than I've ever seen him in his whole career. And so I think that is actually a very good fight for both fighters, and this is the...
And here we are, the big question. Parker promises to destroy Usyk inside 3 rounds. His team insists he's never been sharper. Even legends like Roy Jones Jr. praise his growth. But strip away the noise, and one truth remains: Usyk is a generational fighter. He doesn't just beat opponents, he redefines them. Dubois thought power would do it, Joshua thought discipline would do it, Fury thought size would do it. Every time, Usyk adjusted, adapted, dismantled. Now Parker steps forward. But what does he really bring? He's quicker, yes. More confident, yes. But quicker than Joshua? More confident than Fury? More dangerous than Dubois? History says no. What's truly at stake here is legacy. If Usyk wins, his dominance as the best heavyweight technician of this era is sealed beyond argument. If Parker shocks the world, it would be the upset of the decade, rewriting his career overnight. But the mental battlefield is already uneven. Usyk thrives in pressure. Parker merely survives it. Fans want drama, and they'll get it. But the outcome feels inevitable. Usyk's greatness isn't about predictions. It's about inevitability. So I'll leave it with you. Can Parker really do what others couldn't, or will Usyk once again prove untouchable? Drop your thoughts below.